Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scout Sports 101 Sunday Night Football postgame show and Monday Night Football update show. Well, we'll get to tonight's Monday night game. We'll recap the Sunday night game in a moment. But first, here is today's Scout Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 11 trivia question. And it's a Cowboys trivia question. Who was the first Dallas Cowboy to win the National League MVP award? I'll have the answer later in the podcast. Well, getting to last night's Sunday night game, finally, the LA Chargers finally have their signature win, even if it ended up being a white knuckle finish. The Chargers squandered a 21-point third quarter lead Sunday night against the Cincinnati Bengals before J.K. Dobbins rushed for a 29-yard touchdown with 18 seconds remaining to give Los Angeles a 34-27 victory. A great team win. It was awesome. A boisterous Harbaugh said as he started his post-game remarks. Uh, uh, After its offense stalled for most of the second half, Los Angeles went 84 yards on 4 plays in 26 seconds on the decisive drive. Led McConkey, who had 6 receptions for a career high 123 yards, and had a 28 and 27 yard grabs before Dobbins scored on a run up the left sideline for his second touchdown of the game. With Cincinnati down to one timeout, Dobbins could have gone down inside the Cincinnati 10-yard line and set up a field goal by Cameron Dicker on the final play. However, the mentality before 1st and 10 after the Bengals called their second timeout was to score if the opportunity was there. Well, first Bradley Bozeman was like, F it to go, score. I'm like, all right, I hear you, said Dobbins, who had 56 yards on 11 carries. So I went to the sideline. I asked running backs coach, Kyle McDonald, like, you want me to score here? He said, F it to go score. So I was going to score. So, like, when we lined up, I just had a feeling I was going to go and score, and that's what happened. Joe Burrow got Cincinnati to the Chargers 43 in the final seconds with a 21-yard completion, but his final 2 throws fell incomplete. Derwin James Jr. leaped at the goal line and batted down a Hail Mary headed right for T. Higgins on the final play to preserve the Chargers' 4th straight win. Justin Herbert passed for 297 yards and 2 touchdowns and rushed for 65 yards as the Chargers improved to 7-3 for the first time since 2018. Now, the defense allowed a season-high 27 points and had its string of games holding opponents to 20 or fewer snapped at 9, but snapped it at 9, excuse me, but it got a win over the top flight offense. Burrow leads the league in passing yards and touchdowns, while Jamar Chase is the NFL's leading receiver. We battle tested, and guys in this locker room want to win, James said. It was another excruciating loss for the Bengals, who fell to 4-7. They have 5 defeats by 7 points or fewer. Joe Burrow passed for 356 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Chase had 75 yards on 7 catches and 2 touchdowns. Uh, Kicker Evan McPherson had two chances to is in the fourth quarter to give the Bengals the lead, but was wide left from 48 and 51 yards. We played some really good football teams, and we've just got to find a way to finish, Coach Zach Taylor said. I keep saying that, and obviously we're a play away every time I say it. I've still got the confidence that we can get this thing done. Cincinnati trailed 27-6 in the third quarter, but scored on three straight drives in a 13-minute span to tie the game. The first two scores came on fourth down plays. Burrow hit Chase on a slant on fourth and goal from the LA 4 to get the Bengals within two scores. Higgins then got behind Elijah Molden and Josser Taylor on fourth and two for 204 for fourth and two for a 42-yard touchdown to make it 27-20. Higgins, who missed the last three games with a quad injury, had 9 receptions for 148 yards and a TD. The Bengals tied it at 27 with 12:21 remaining when Chase hauled in a 17-yard TD. Burrow was 16 of 30 carries and attempts for 245 yards during the three scoring drives and two possessions that ended with missed field goals. I just think it was a tough loss. The first half didn't go our way. We fought back, had our opportunities to seal the deal, and we didn't, said Burrow, who completed 28 of 50 passes. After Dicker's 53-yard field goal early in the second half put the Chargers up by 3 touchdowns, Los Angeles offense had three and outs, a turnover, and a 47 net yards in 5 series before its touchdown in the final minute. Herbert completed 9 of his first 10 passes, but was 8 of 26 the rest of the way. He was 2 of 12 for 30 yards on the 5 aforementioned series. The defense did a great job getting stops, and they got us the ball back when we needed it, Herbert said. We knew we had to go and make a play. It came down to the final drive. Ladd made a couple of big catches, and J.K. with that huge run props the guys for sticking through it. The Chargers jumped out to a 24-6 lead at halftime. Herbert connected with Will Dissly for a 29-yard touchdown. It was the longest reception for the tight end since Week 1 in 2022, when he had a 38-yard score for Seattle. Cincinnati got another field goal before Quentin Johnston caught a 26-yard TD from Herbert to make it 14-6, less than 4 minutes into the second quarter. It is the 6th touchdown for Johnston, and the 3rd straight game he has reached the end zone. Los Angeles extended its lead at halftime with 2 scores in the final 5 minutes after Dobbins scored on a 4th and goal. Cameron Dicker hit a 19-yard field goal, on the final play. Bengals cornerback DJ Turner, the second, left with a shoulder injury in the third quarter. Orlando Brown Jr. missed his 3rd straight game due to a knee and leg injuries. And defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins has an illness and was inactive. Chargers cornerback Cam Hart suffered a concussion in the second half and did not return. Linebacker Denzel Perryman left in the fourth quarter due to a groin injury. Linebacker Kylie Mack had a groin injury, was inactive, and it was the first game Mack had missed since joining the Chargers in 2022. Those were the Chargers injuries. And the Bengals are on a bye this week, and after their bye, they will host Pittsburgh on December 1st, as the Browns will be in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers on Thursday Night Football this week. On Thursday. And the Chargers host the Baltimore Ravens next Monday night on Monday Night Football. In the third matchup between Coach Jim Harbaugh and his older brother, John Harbaugh. So that should be a good and interesting matchup next Monday night. But right now, I have to give the game balls for this game to the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, 17 of 36 carries and attempts, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins, 11 attempts, 56 yards, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Ladd McConkey, 6 receptions, 123 yards. So Cincinnati will have to regroup as they will be taking on Pittsburgh on December 1st after their bye week. We will get to tonight's Monday night game in just a moment, but right now it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 11 trivia question. It's a Cowboys trivia question, as I mentioned. Who was the first Dallas Cowboy to win the National Football League MVP award? And if you said Dallas Cowboys Hall of Fame running back Emmitt Smith, you are correct. In 1993, Emmitt Smith missed all of training camp and the first 2 regular season games. He went on to post 1,486 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns, and helped the Cowboys become the first team to win a Super Bowl after starting the season 0-2. He also received the League MVP award and the Super Bowl 28 MVP award. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Well, it's Monday Night Football Week 11, and we have a great AFC-NFC South matchup going on right now. The Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys are battling it out right now at AT&T Stadium in Big D, and it's 17-10 Texans right now, in the second quarter with 52 seconds to go till halftime. 3rd and 10 at the Houston. It's the 2nd and 10 at the Houston. I think it's the 2nd and 10 at the Houston 30, and the Texans have the ball. So both the Texans and Cowboys are coming off losses last week in Week 10. Dallas has been struggling as of late because of Dak Prescott being out for the season and numerous other injuries. So and I've got the Texans for tonight's game, and so does and my brother-in-law took the Cowboys. And we are tied at 7-6. So whoever wins this game tonight will win the picks of the week. So, but right now, I'm going to let you know where we stand. I'm going to go over what has happened so far with this game. First quarter, the Texans scored their first touchdown of the game. It was first attempt at Dallas 45. Joe Mixon, right tackle for the 45-yard touchdown. There was a kick formation penalty on Houston, delay of game 5 yards, and force at the Dallas 15 for no play. But then Fairbairn's extra point is good, and it was 7-0 Cowboys. 7-0 Texans, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Fairbairn's extra point is good. 7-0 Texans. And the Texans scored the first touchdown, not the Cowboys. The Cowboys had a turnover on downs, however. They did. 4th and 9 at the Dallas 33. Hanger pass short to short middle to Thomas for the Dallas 37 for 4 yards. And it was an incomplete pass before that, and that's caused the turnover on downs. But then Houston intercepted It was the 4th and 3 at the Dallas 30. CJ Stroud pass deep right uh, for Collins, intercepted by Hooker at the Dallas 12. Hooker to the Dallas 33 for 21 yards. And then the Cowboys had an interception. 3rd and 8 at the Houston 41. Cooper Rush pass short left intended for CeeDee Lamb, intercepted by Stingley at the Houston 30. Stingley pushed out of bounds at the Houston 37 for 7 yards. Then the Texans scored their second touchdown of the game. Second and goal to Dallas 1. Joe Mixon, right end for the 1 yard touchdown. And then Fairbank's extra point is good. 14-0 Cowboys. Then the Cowboys finally scored their first touchdown of the game. Cooper Rush, it was a 3rd and 10 to Dallas 36. Cooper Rush passed short right to Turpin for the 64-yard touchdown. Aubrey's extra point is good. 14-7 Texans at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, the Texans tried to score a touchdown, but they were not able to get a touchdown. And the 4th and 9, they had to settle for a field goal. 4th and 9 to Dallas 15. Fairbank's 33-yard field goal attempt is good. 17-7 Texans. And Dallas tried to score a touchdown. Were not able to. They got to field goal range. 4th and 9 at the Houston 35. Aubrey's 53-yard field goal attempt is good. 17-10 Texans. Houston had to punt. They're going 3.5, 4 plays, 19 yards. And then Dallas tried to score a touchdown. They tried to get a touchdown, but they were not able to do it to get into that range. But they got into field goal range. 4th and 7 at the Houston 22. Aubrey's 40-yard field goal attempt is no good. Because the missed field goal, it hit right upright, and so it was still 17-10. Houston had to punt. They're going 3 and out. 3 plays, no yards, and then the current drive, 2nd and 10 to Dallas 30. Cooper Rush pass to complete deep middle to Tolbert for no gain. So it's 17-10 Texans, 15 seconds till halftime in the second quarter. Can Dallas rally? Or will the Texans go on and get the win? We shall see. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Sunday Night Football post-game show, Monday Night Football update show. And I'll be back with the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football post-game show once the game between the Texans and Cowboys has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.